Happy Fun Day Sunday. Welcome to SMG. I'm working on these back drums. I've decided to, this is on the 61 FL. I want to tell you my reasoning, my thought process on why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'd love your input for those of you that, cheers, coffee time. Sunday, it's a beautiful day. Might ride today, hopefully get the 47 out. But I'll tell you where I'm at and what I decided to do. Took the back wheel off of the 61. This is going to be a little bit of a story, so if you're not into stories and numbers and why, you know, the dimensions and specs of these and what your options are, this is not going to be a video for you. This is more for me than you, because I'm learning. So I pull the drum off, right? And it's scored really bad. And I'm thinking, okay, how bad's too bad, right? Here comes the research. So first I have to figure out how deep are the scores and how has it ever been, you know, turned before? What's the max you can turn it? All those things. So I thought what I would do first is figure out how deep is my deepest score. And they're pretty deep, but this back one is scored. The front pad, there's two, not pads, they're shoes. The front shoe, if this is the front of the bike, the front shoe was just eaten clear down to the metal. So the brass actual rivets are what ate this out. The back shoe was worn, but not bad. And we can get into that in a little bit, but so what I did, and I have some mics and I have some things, but I don't have anything that I can easily put across to figure out the you know, to measure quickly what is the inside diameter of this drum. So I went ahead and took, you've seen me cut off shims made from I've got brain lock feeler gauges, you know, in thousands. You know, they're $7 or $8. You get them. I use them for shims. I cut a couple slivers. I cut a 30 thousandths one, and then I ended up cutting a 30 and a 20. I just cut them with a pair of sheet metal shears, which don't like stainless a lot, but you know, don't use a good pair if you don't want to ruin it. And I cut them and I put them on a peen and flattened them back out. Watch that you don't smash them. Just you know, I wanted to make them as flat as I could. And I stuck them and stacked them in here. And then I took a straight edge and I laid it at the back where I knew it wasn't, the back of this drum where I knew it wasn't wore. And I sanded it down so I knew I was fresh metal to the front ridge. And I just kept stacking until I figured out that I'm about 50 thousandths. I had a 30 and a 20 stacked up on top of each other, and that's about what it was. Now, am I a couple thousandths off? Probably, but I've got an idea. So then I also took a mic, and I had a big enough mic that I could mic a good section, and then I mic'd the bad section, which was smaller, and I took the difference between the two and figured out what the depth difference was times 2, both sides, to figure out what kind of inside diameter I might have compared to stock. So that's 2 ways that I figured out that with limited tools I could figure out how much I actually ate, you know, the rivets ate the inside of this drum up. So here comes the research, right? And some of the times it's easy and some of the times it's not. I have been using, just heads up, I've been using ChatGPT to check certain things. I have found out that ChatGPT, which is an IA app, which I don't know a lot about, but I'm trying it out. What it does do is it can research a lot. Once you think you know what you want, you can ask it to research, and it'll go out, and instead of you reading all the posts and all of the YouTube videos and all of the forums, it'll go out and read them all for you and then compile everything and give you a big dump of information. I have seen it multiple times be wrong on part numbers for Harley Davidsons, especially vintage Harley Davidsons. So don't take anything it says for gospel. Do a little bit of research, but combine that in can help you get to where you want to go. So here's some things I found out, not only through ChatGPT, but through service manuals and chat forums and things like that. Here's the, rear drum, 61 FL, right? From 1958 to 1962 is when they used this style of drum. This is a hydraulic drum. Prior to 58, you had 57 was your last of your hardtails. When they went with the Duo Glide in 58, they wanted to make them faster. They wanted to make them stop better. So in 58, they came out with hydraulic drums, or affectionately known in the Harley world as juice brakes. So they came up with juice brakes in 58. They ran them to 62, and in 1963 is when they ended up going with a wider brake shoe, which gave them better stopping abilities, because horsepowers were going up, things were getting faster, roads were getting better, people were riding faster, that type of thing. So this 58 to 62 for the Duo Glides, when they went to juice brakes, right? The inside diameter of a new drum was 8.02 inches. So 20 thousandths over 8 inches. The brake shoe width was 1 inch and 11/16, is what they used in these. And the max finished inside diameter, before you had to throw that drum away, was 8.1. So 8.1 is 100 thousandths over 8 inches. Well, I measured, and when you're 100 thousandths, anything over, if you turn them down, you have to at least be to 60 thousandths over. If it came originally at 8.2 or 8 and 20 thousandths, you would have to actual turn this down to at least 8.06, which would be 60 thousandths, to use. They make a 30 thousandths over shoe. So to use that over shoe, meaning the pad thickness is over what it is stock, it's thicker, you have to be a minimum of 8.060 to use a 30 thousandths shoe. Now you can use that 30 thousandths shoe all the way up to the 8.1, which is the max inside diameter you can have. Well, if you remember the story I told you before, this long ass story that I'm telling now, is that I took a 30 thousandths and a 20 thousandths feeler gauge, snipped them, put them in, determined 2 different ways that I was about 50 thousandths on one side. You double that, I'm at 100 thousandths. So, I would love to keep this, because I believe everything that I've taken off this bike, within reason, not everything, but this cylinder, rear brake cylinder, is the original rear brake cylinder. It's OEM correct, put it that way. Original, I don't know, but 63 years old. So how many cylinders did it have on it? I'm sure there's a way I can check a date code, and I haven't went to that point yet, but this is a Wagner Lockheed, and here's the stamp numbers, USA. I'd be willing to bet that that's OEM part. With an OEM brake drum, with OEM brake shoes, and I'd really like to keep it OEM. within reason, within dollar amount, because I'm not gonna, this bike's gonna be, you've all heard the story 1,000 times. I'm riding this thing. I'm riding it as is. I want to ride a ratted out bike that's got some nostalgia, that has a story behind it, that people walk over and say, wow, where'd you get that thing? And have it mechanically sound. I mean, that's why I'm going through this whole thing. Hopefully I'll be able to ride this all the way to the scene of the accident. So, so that's the story. That's the reason I decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this aside. And as I was looking, I look at the cylinder and the boot is tore. The cylinder is stuck out. And man, I cannot move it. It is seized, and guess what? It's seized on the front side of the pad that scored all this out. So when it seized, someone just kept pushing it down and eating it up and pushing it down and eating it up and probably self-induced this issue. So I have not researched if I can take this apart, buy new bushings, maybe hone this out. I'm going to try to do the master cylinder again and get the right I'm saving all these parts, and once I ride it and I'm having fun and another winter comes by, God willing, I'll get back in and see if I can refurbish maybe this and keep it. Maybe it will be right at 100 thousandths over. Get this running and put those all back on. And no one will know except me, but you know, it makes me happy. So I decided to set this to the side, and I decided to go with a new drum. This is pretty much all V-twin stuff through Drag Specialties, through a buddy of mine that runs a bike shop here, local, works on old bikes. Good dude, Donnie. Thank you. I appreciate it. Everything you do. Boy, it's pretty. So as you can see, I took out a DA and sanded, and I scuffed it up, and I'm down through the paint. That'll rust up real quick. And I want that look of, you know, wheels going to be here, so you're not going to see the back, but you're going to see this. Paint will wear off of the sprocket. And I want, you know, I just want it to look the part. That's why, you know, I've shown you how I make the nuts and bolts and stuff look a little older. So that's why I decided I'm going to do this. Here's a new cylinder, and you can see actually both these go in and out very easily. So I am going to put this on. I do, now that I know a little bit about the hardware, every time I take something off, I'm looking at the ends to find out if it could be stock Harley stuff. I met a guy that said this is a sickness. I think he's right. So, so that's where I'm at here. So what I'm going to do is put the new shoes that I purchased on. They're over here. Waiting for new shoes for the front. The new shoes, the shoes that were on this were what was the brand name of the shoes that I took off? Bendix. And I thought that, you know, and Bendix is what they used back in the day. So a lot of people put the actual fiber back on, back when they made them out of asbestos when they were really good. So there's some tricks you do to this, you know. I want to file these edges down on these. I also want to seat and make sure that these run flat. So I'll probably put them in and see if I get any glaze points. I might even take a little bit of sandpaper, sticky back sandpaper, really light, and stick in here. Stick to this, clean it up with some brake fluid, and then stick the brakes in, you know, open them up a little bit, spin the wheel, spin the wheel, spin the wheel, take it back apart and make sure that these are actually filed down to where they fit the inside of the drum. Those are some tricks you can do to get better braking. Per the internet, I have never done it, but I'm going to tell you if it works or not. I'm going to try it out. So this video has probably been long enough. I'm going to have multiple points because I'm going to put this together. I'll put this back on the plate. This style of brake drum actually fits over the plate. It fits into this, the backing plate fits into this little slot. So, man, lots of things, learning a lot. So enjoy your Sunday. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much, because we get a kick out of seeing how many people want to watch our shenanigans. If you've already have, it's appreciated. If not, consider it. And man, have fun. Ride safe. If you ride them, wrench them, but only if you want to. See you.